Action.
Okay, I don't know, but I'm about to have so much fun, y'all. I got my brother here, Marcus Johnson. Business Wisdom Wednesday is about connecting people who are business owners who are doing work that makes the world a better place. And every tune, man, every note is on purpose. For those who heard me say your name, right? But tell us how to get like your social media. Tell me who you are in your social media, and then we're gonna got some questions for you.
Yeah, Marcus Johnson, 360.com on IG. You can get Marcus Johnson 360 on Facebook. The website is marcusjohnson360.com. So everything is the full circle.
Connected.
Marcus Johnson and Flow.
Yeah.
Flow Brands.
Now, brother, that connection, flow, is who you are now. You morphed into this flow, right? Kind of unpack that for me, because it's more than just some letters that nicely look good, but it's who you are, brother. Tell us about that flow.
Flow is it's an acronym that means for the love of. We have the wine brand. We do Flow Fest. We have the Flow Music Series. And Flow Candles. We're looking at the idea of doing, getting more into aromatherapy and fragrances. But Flow really isn't about me. It's about the consumers, which is what really every business is about anyway.
Yes.
And back in the early 2000s, when the music industry was changing, started seeing how the dynamics of how music was being experienced changed. I used to go by Target and see the Compass Music Lifescapes. And I was already into lounge music and lo-fi back then. So I created the Flow Music Series. They had music to chill by or music for a rainy day. We did Flow Romance, For the Love of Romance, For the Love of Standards, a jazz standards CD, and For the Love of Romance, Chill, and Standards. And all three debuted on the top 15 of Billboard.
Tell me the year.
That was 2007.
Okay. The reason I asked that question is because a lot of times we get busy.
Absolutely.
But that busyness is not connected to a structure that will allow us, and I'm going to use your word, to flow. You figured that out, right?
Yeah.
And part of that was you done research.
Absolutely.
Go from that point. Because a lot of times we just want to get to work. And we don't dive into, again, the system that will allow that to kind of continue to flow. I just love that flow, y'all. Y'all going to hear me say that a lot. But go ahead.
Well, most people do to-do lists. I learned early that it's not about your to-do list. It's about your success list.
Ooh.
And you have to distinguish both of those. Your success list gets you closer to the things that you do. And literally, people are like, well, Marcus, do you have to, look at your goal and then say, well, if this doesn't meet my goal, I'm not going to do it. I'm like, I want you to ask that question again, right?
Yeah. You see me, I'm looking behind you. So go ahead, come on, bring that forward.
Yeah, exactly. But there are a lot of people that think that these things should happen amorphously, like love. You know what I mean? Oh, it should just happen out the air. Yeah. No, this is stuff you have to work your behind off of.
Yes.
And you have to have a plan.
Yes.
So behind flow, there's a bigger model called deeper. You have to have a dream, be engaged in it. You have to have a fertile environment around you. It has to be in a written plan. Then you execute upon it, and then you reflect. And the idea is that life is not cyclical. It is, it's not linear. It is cyclical. And when you go and you do that over and over again, okay, for my relationship, let's go deeper. For my business, let's go deeper. And that is looking at your analytics in the business. That is taking advantage of resources like artificial intelligence, machine learning, meta ad.
I hope you're hearing this, right? And that's on purpose, brother.
Yeah.
That it is so important that people can see. When we look at you, it looks easy.
I mean, Tiger Woods hitting the ball sometimes looks easy, right? It's always easy till you have to get out there and hit that ball and get a low score. Like I'm at 120.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be lower.
So let's look at that, right? Because when you really get into the work that it takes to be successful, it isn't easy, but it's work full of love when you really get into that.
Absolutely.
What year or at what moment did you really have that aha? I'm loving what I am because I am doing what I'm choosing to do.
So I come from a family of doctors and lawyers. So when I told them that I was going to college for music, you had to know before then that you knew what you were doing because it was, there was an earthquake back in like 1989. Then that was my mom. Like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
No, you're not. Yes, I am.
Yeah.
This is what I'm going to Miami. I applied to one college, which was the University of Miami, because I wanted to study music engineering. And the guy who created digital recording was the head of the program there. And out of, I think they had like 3,600 applicants. They were accepting like 6 a year.
Wow.
I was the only African American in the program, which sucks, but
you represent.
I did what I did.
That's
My
right.
mom had a stroke and I had to come back and I ended up at Howard.
Okay.
But it was always a flow of, okay, it is like golf, right? Where you take a shot. Miami didn't work. I did not want to leave Miami. I'm going to let you know that.
Okay. Yeah, y'all saw that smile, right? His whole appearance just changed.
I did not want to leave Miami. I mean, there were so many great things about it, the facilities, the people, and the opportunities. Direct to LA and Disney and Hollywood Pictures, direct into Orlando and what was going on down there.
That connection, that environment again.
But then ending up at Howard created a whole different set of resources and opportunities.
HU does that, bro.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, even if it doesn't plan for it. But, I love my HU.
That's right. So I want you to know that rebirth or that moment is often comes again. Like you said, it often comes again, right? So you are now in a rebirth period also, bro. I mean, what you just did what he just did this weekend? So talk about the rebirth of you now, because what I want to do is I want to entice people to know that he's going to come back. We're going to do business with him again. He wasn't part of this episode, my sister who's going to be interviewed, but because you're here, I had to ask that, brother. So tell us about this. No, you're not. No, he's not. He's sharing. He's sharing. So tell us about the cycle that you're in now, and how are you using technology to help you using technology, brother, to elevate when most people
to take over my part of the world, let's say. Right?
That's right. That's right. Come on.
Like, and there's, at the end of the day, there's no BSing, right? We really have to be, if you don't think that you're taking, like, your world over, go get a job, right? Because you're wasting your own time, you're wasting your consumers' times. Your job is to do whatever you can to be at the highest position that you can be.
That's right.
And, will you always be there? No. Are you going to fail? Absolutely. But that's how you get stronger in the gym.
Yeah.
So essentially coming out of, all the craziness that the music industry has been, you wake up one day and you're like, yeah, I'm getting all these analytics. I'm working on my 24th album. I have an NAACP Image nomination. I have all these Billboard records. I'm getting, gigs around the world. Why am I paying somebody to do this? Instead of creating my own ecosystem to do my own business.
That's right.
I have AI. I can take my analytics from Pandora, YouTube for Artists,
all of it.
Pandora for Artists, Spotify for Artists, put that in somewhere.
That's right.
And make it work for me. And so
y'all hearing this, right? Because this applies to not just the music business, it applies to every business.
But it's my wine business.
Yes.
It's my speaking business. It's what I do now in my finance business, all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
There has to be a system. And even if your morning get up, and some people are opposed to this, I know in our community in particular, of getting up and getting with your non-judgmental thought companion called AI and saying like, yo, look, I said I was going to do this last night.
Yeah.
What am I going to do? What did I miss?
Yeah.
And you keep moving.
There it is.
But busboys and poets, I mean, we turned into that.
Yeah. No, go on. I'm not going to let you go without you telling us about that, because his next event, y'all should be not just in a seat, but you should have an experience, because it's not a seat, it's an experience. Tell us about this past weekend and then your next experience that we can all be a part of.
So we had 3 nights, 4 events, the Busboys and Poets for Valentine's Day, a flow into Valentine's, again, for the love of Valentine's. We did Friday night at the Hyattsville location because they're perfect for pop-ups. Especially we learned that the food in the back end, that they have absolutely helps me to focus on what I do best. We used Eventbrite for ticketing, had reserved seating, used Meta IG for advertising, had 4 basically packed shows.
At what price?
At $110.
Only? Because it's a Valentine's Day, y'all.
Yeah. But the thing about it is for the figuring out how to do reserved seating on Eventbrite allowed me to tier it, where I could have you get a rose, you get a CD, you get an autograph poster for VIP, right?
Yeah.
And so there was 110, there was 85, there was 55.
Yeah.
And then on Hyattsville, the brunch day, we just did a tiered VIP and the regular seating.
And the people experience, not just you, bro, they experience each other.
Yeah.
And when you look from that keyboard, what did you see that most people don't even get? Because when community comes together, there's an energy in there. What did you see?
Well, I mean, on Sunday I had Mickey's son, Lil Mickey, and we decided to do what we do in DC, drop that stuff in the pocket. So I mean, people forget. I played with Air Raid, Essence, Chuck Brown, all those guys. When I too young to drive, right? They would get me in and get me out. So we did that, and people were like, "Had you done that for 2 more minutes, I would have gotten up and danced." Right?
See?
The other people were just like, "This was such a lovely event." Because you always get a little speech from me about life and Valentine's, about being your own Valentine, looking in the mirror and loving on you.
Yeah.
Making sure that if you can't be your own Valentine, you can't be a Valentine for anybody else. Taking responsibility for yourself. And when you do that, you can run and live your flow. And so people leave and they're like, hey, and they got their thank you message yesterday. Thank you for being a fan. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for being here. Don't worry, you're on our mailing list. We're going to bug the heck out of you and let you know wherever I'm playing, tell your friends. And then it keeps growing.
He is your next place? Because I'm about to ask, I know on the 26th, he's going to be in the house with the Black Film. Can you bring me the flyer for the Black Film? But go ahead, tell us your next place.
March 7th, be at Busboys and Poets Anacostia.
Okay. Now, he gives so much also, too. There's an amazing Black Film that's about to happen. We're going to do an event on the 26th at the Greater Washington, I believe. It's our first event where our tickets are only $100, but you're going to get an opportunity. Do you have the flyer?
Not with me, sir.
Okay. Okay. If you want to get this information, I want you to make sure we give Ms. Gunter your information. This film, and my sister in here.
She rolled out.
Yeah, she rolled out. Okay. This film was produced by a Black production company. And the purpose of this film is for us to really look within that whole work experience. And when we unpack who we give up to fit into these work environments, sometimes it's really, really, really crazy. But the film is going to be at the Greater Washington Urban League on the 26th. And my brother's like, look, man, I got the system. I'm going to put it in. I'm going to put it this. So I thank you for that, right? And I want you all to know when you experience the flow, when you come to these events, even at Busboys, you're going to literally be out of who you are for that. How many, is it an hour or 2 hours?
It's about 80 minutes of music.
Right?
You get there early, get your food on, and the food is great. And then we'll give you about, 80, 90 minutes worth of music.
If you wanted to experience the flow, check him out before he goes. Thank you so much, brother.
Absolutely.
We got more. We have more. He's going to be in the house on the 26th with the Black Film.
Actually, I'm going to be in LA.
You're going to be in LA? Oh, you're going to still support us. He's going to be in LA, but he's going to help us get the word out. My next sister, thank you, big brother. Okay. Now, my sister, come on. The mic is hot, but